SNAFU. Situation normal. All fouled up.
Welcome to a special report from SNAFU. I'm Rick. With me are Pat and Dale. Pat and Jeff. Say hi, Pat and Jeff. Dale's not with us. I'm sorry. Say hi, you guys.
Hi.
I'm not even going to do that. I'm not even doing that over again. Let's go.
Even everybody. Yeah, this is hot to you because this goes live. The book we're going to talk about goes out October 14th, which is like a week from recording. So
yeah, hot off the press here. Special report.
Can you pre-order this still?
Yeah, it's still up for pre-order right now. In fact, I'll go to the website and verify it's still. I don't think they pull it down before they order it.
No, I would imagine.
No,
that.
I don't think so either.
I don't think they'd like to avoid people of chances of ordering stuff.
Is there a special miniature that comes with this one?
Yes.
What is it?
An Alpini.
Okay, cool. Not as cool as a bear, but whatever. So
I mean, they're not really ever going to top a bear, but
no,
you know.
I mean,
Black Feathers White Hell special miniature.
Devil Dog was kind of crazy.
And yes, pre-order is still there.
Okay,
He's a cool looking blue guy.
Yep.
Maybe that's just the way he was painted. I don't know. Or could have been uniform, I guess. Jeff would know better.
Yeah, Alpini.
Sure.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. So we got
White Hell.
to take a look at the book, and we're going to kind of go through all the stuff, right?
Yep.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And some of this is from memory, so you know.
We'll do our best. But,
I mean, I got to look at it for almost 2 hours before I had to hand it back. So
Yeah, I didn't get that long, so if
I made some notes.
Yeah, I made some brain notes.
I mean, I don't do any of that. I just glanced. I always just glance at stuff.
Yep.
Anyway, yeah. So it's a big book again, isn't it? Like these are big books. I got the impression.
Thick boy, yeah.
Yeah, 170, 180 pages,
something like that. It was thick.
And again, they've got a whole section of the typical special rules things that they like to put in. What do they call those? Like where they got the snow, the dug in, rubble, and all that stuff. Which I still think they should just put out on a PDF for everyone to download because well, actually, they did add one extra one in here if I recall. Maybe do I do it now or should we get into it later? Well, we're just kind of winging this thing. So they added armored trains in.
Cool.
So they had the entries, which I'm just looking at them. They're pretty much comparable to what we covered back in what was the first Bolt Action one that had it? Was it Germany Strikes?
Yes, Germany Strikes. Yeah,
is where they were first in. So that means the same rules for those units. And then, spoiler: I remember seeing at least one theater that if you took it. The special rules for that theater where you could place train tracks from your long table edge to any one of the adjacent table edges.
Nice.
So
That's cool.
You actually got to bring you'd have to bring train tracks as part of your army and then put them down. But hey, somebody's listening out there. I think it was Jeff's idea.
Well,
I'm not sure that he was the only one that's ever talked about that.
Probably, but
probably not. But whatever.
So it's in a theater selector now, so anything that allows theater selectors, it is now possible that you are adding to a board train tracks so that you can run your trains. So there's that. And I know it was at least one, might have been more. I don't remember off the top of my head, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you keep talking things into life, Jeff, I'm all for it. So like, I don't care if it was you or not. I'm going to believe it was. So
you know what? I don't care if it's me or not either. I'm just happy these things have been brought to life. So
right. Yeah. All right. Let's talk some of these theater selectors first, or not theater selectors.
Let's
scenarios.
set the
whole.
Yeah. Where's the case blue? Because it actually is 1, 2, 3 is 4 or 5 different actual theaters, but I guess Case Blue sounded cooler.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Yeah, I mean Case Blue is the operational name from the German side. So
okay.
What were they trying to do? Was this Eastern Front stuff, right?
This is the southern part of the Eastern Front, so this is the push. This will be the push that brings you to Stalingrad.
I think this is the counter book or the sister book. I think
sister book.
Of Stalingrad.
So Stalingrad takes place in and around Stalingrad, whereas Case Blue is the entire Eastern Front's southern push through Crimea to the Caucasus.
Okay.
And the Caucasus are the mountain system between the Black Sea and the Caspian Sea.
Right.
And this is them trying to procure
Oil fields.
Resources, yeah, oil fields,
The
right?
big drive of this is oil fields, yeah.
Okay, to keep fueling the German army.
Yes.
So
and to keep the Russians, Soviets at the time, from bombing Romanian oil fields where Germany is getting most of its oil from.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Okay.
So for most people listening, I believe this is basically what is now the eastern part of modern-day Ukraine.
That's a big chunk of most of Ukraine, yes.
Okay. And this is down to the south, and of course then they've got, you mentioned the Crimean Peninsula, and then extends over to the Caucasus there. So yeah, this was the big push to their oil fields.
Yeah.
And yeah, so a few years ago, I'd seen a special about Sevastopol, and I really thought that was a really interesting episode that would make a really good book. And it's in here, like the opening like section of it is all about the push in Sevastopol, which is I personally thought was really cool.
Yep.
Cool.
And I remember, so you wanted to jump into scenarios, Rick. You know, we're doing this whole thing ad hoc. This is, one entire tangent hour. But as we go by mostly memory and just bouncing back and forth. The first scenario, the Soviets get like a boat.
Sweet.
And so it's a boat. It's a unit that you have, and they said use a marker if you have a miniature or whatever. And it's got like 2 heavy howitzers on it. And then it has, when it gets hit, you don't roll the vehicle damage table, but you have to do like 6 special wound markers on a special table to make it go off. And that's one of the win conditions, is to destroy this boat. But I thought that was a pretty cool scenario.
That's fun.
Just so you know, it's a light cruiser, so the ship heads are going to be after you about that.
Yeah, well, okay. I just remember boat.
That's fair.
It was in the water and it floated, so it seemed like a boat. It's no flob sack, but
it's much larger than a flop sack. That's right.
It doesn't take any pins. It just has a special case that you have to hit on it to make it go away, and that's one of the win conditions in addition to blowing stuff up. Mm-hmm. So, glancing over the scenarios from what I read, a lot of them were even point scenarios.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
And there's definitely one that was set up for a multiplayer, 2-player per side scenario, which we can't have enough of those because those games, we never seem to finish them, but they are some of the most fun in memory when we're playing at a club.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love those team games. They're just a blast.
Yeah, because you can't blame the loss on yourself. You can blame the loss on the guy that was on
always
your team.
the other guy, for sure.
Obviously,
it has to be. Yep.
It's always me somehow.
Well, you're seldomly on my team, Rick.
That's fair.
And of course, they had the big glossy maps that they have with all the arrows that we now know what they all mean. Thanks,
most
everybody.
of them, yeah, most of them. What we know what they mean. There's a lot of maps that I remember there being a lot of maps in here, and like that makes me happy.
At least 3 or 4 for sure.
Yeah.
And what's really nice is, so they take those maps mostly from the other Osprey materials, and they tell you which one it is.
That's cool.
So if you wanted to know more about that, you could go get that corresponding Osprey book.
That's pretty cool, actually.
I've fallen victim to at least 2 or 3 times.
Oh, absolutely. That's super cool.
Way to go, Osprey Games.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's not by accident.
Oh, for sure not. Not a chance.
Yeah, not a chance. That's accidental. So, but
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, were there any other scenarios that you liked that stuck out to you, Pat? There's only one thing that stuck out to me, but that's we'll get there.
He's checking his notes. That's why.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, the first couple where they, so again, they have the picture. They do the pictures and the layouts in there, and they had a couple that had very few terrain elements. So people who are not Jeff and I, who casually have terrain, could possibly do these with easy enough facsimiles. So that's nice. And then, of course, they always have their model setups with the pictures and everything, which just look gorgeous, and I wish I could make my tables look like that, but I have to transport mine around, so that doesn't happen as much. Those are the main, the one with the ship was the main one that stuck out to me, and the other one that had, but was there 20 scenarios in there?
There's something like that. There's a lot of scenarios. You're definitely getting a lot of bang for your buck on scenarios here.
Feels like they've been, especially if it's like multiple areas of the war, it seems like that they've been expanding how many scenarios you get.
Yeah, it's solid. Cool. I think I can't remember. I think there was a scenario that had like gun emplacements in it or something, which looked pretty cool.
And they had a couple scenarios that actually had railroads, and obviously the rules for those are in there.
Mm-hmm.
And all the scenarios said, take from this theater selector in this book, so you don't have to go to a different book to find the theater selector to play this book.
Hey, nice.
Which is really nice. I didn't see, and they might have, I don't know. I didn't see anything like choose from the Stalingrad book, this selector. I didn't see that. I saw all the ones that they were picking for these scenarios were listed in this book.
Yeah, I love that. I really wish we did more of that with these campaign books. That's a huge thumbs up for me to the author of this, or whoever put it together and was responsible for that. Having a campaign book be self-contained, awesome.
Yeah. I know that they've gotten burned by that before, where they accidentally put a special rule that's different from another army, or like a unit has new rules all of a sudden. But It is nice. I agree that everything should be in here. Like it should be self-contained for sure.
Yep. Yeah, I'm a big fan of that.
And yeah, they had pictures of some of the armored cars they had. They didn't have the super. And we talked about this. Oh, it was probably a year and a half ago. So I'm testing your guys' memory.
Yeah.
This big railway gun that they essentially had to assemble on rails on site. That had like just this ridiculous.
The Germans.
The Germans had this. Yeah. They had 6 of them. I forget the names of them were, and I'm sure listeners are rattling them off.
Somebody's yelling at us for sure.
But they basically were firing ship cannon. They were firing battleship cannons.
Bigger than that.
Bigger than that.
Yeah, they're throwing like a Yugo at people.
Isn't that in this book? I swear that's in this book.
The observer for it is in the Soviets. Yeah. And
there's no way you could have rules for that actual unit in this book because its minimum range would be like the building you're standing in.
Well, right.
Fair. Wasn't that wasn't that a German unit? I had it down as a German unit.
Yeah, there are 6 of them.
No, yeah, the siege gun forward observer is the one I'm remembering.
Yeah, that's different.
Okay.
That's the guy that's guiding the shells on this thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's dropping. I remember it saying something like car-sized bombs on buildings.
Yeah, yes, literally, yeah. Like, okay, so like when sorry, this is a little history tangent here. When the Germans were laying siege to Sevastopol, they used one of these guns and just kept firing it into town, and it would level a city block wherever it hit. Jeez. It was ridiculous.
Okay, then so the siege gun forward observer that I read about was that.
Yes, I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be representative of the guy that's directing fire for that giant frickin' gun.
Yeah, the thing's it's a beast. We'll get there.
Oh my god, yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, spoiler alert, my notes on the units themselves are extensive because I know that's what everyone loves to hear about. Right. So.
Yeah, but
like I said, I had 2 hours. So
yeah, well, I mean, you had a lot more time. Yeah, I got to cursory, whatever, quick flip through the book. And so for the people out there that are like that, just collect campaign books for knowledge. This is a good campaign book. The scenarios in it are great. The history is really fun to learn. This is 2 thumbs up for me, and I would tell you, if you have any interest in the East Front of the World War II, pick this book up. It's absolutely worth it.
And it's not one that hits Hollywood very often.
No. You have to kind of be okay with foreign films and subtitles if you want to see movies about this topic.
Well, like I said, I a few years back I caught that documentary about the whole Sevastopol thing, and that was really intriguing. That's really captured in here exactly as I remember it. The push for them, their only retreat was into the Black Sea.
Yep.
And some of them did so without boats.
Yeah.
They grabbed doors and crates and floated as far as they could and hoped that the fleet would pick them up. And they didn't always.
No, I mean, Sevastopol is a fat peninsula with a tight way in, and there ain't no. They didn't have a Kerch Bridge back then, so there's no other way off of it except by boat or swimming.
Yeah, so because it's got the Black Sea to the south and to the north of the
Azov, Sea of Azov.
Azov Sea. Okay, yeah. So, again, if you guys are looking for this in the map, look around the Black Sea and kind of see where all this is taking place.
Yeah. So
Google Earth's pretty accurate.
Yeah, super cool book for learning, for playing campaign scenario stuff like that. I'm a huge fan. The last book we had too was really good, so I've been very happy with that end of the campaign books that have been out, they've been great. So that's cool.
Yeah. It's total tangent here, but I went to go look at models and different models, and I saw the new French models, and I was like, oh, those guys look incredible. Just tangenting. I was just perusing
because the French aren't in this book.
They're not, but I was looking for other models to see what they had, and I was like, oh, the French models are gorgeous. I have not looked at them up close till just now. Sorry, totally tangent.
That's okay. I mean, that's the good news, though. Like, I don't know when they started, whatever the new kits, when they started releasing the newer plastic kits, but the last 4 or 5 years, their new plastic kits have all been pretty dang good.
Yeah,
hey, Jeff, in about a week and a half, we can go ask.
Yeah, I can go. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we'll have
Jesus,
to ask them.
It's that close.
It's like 9 days, 10 days.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Glad we're doing this now, then.
Yep.
Yup.
Yeah. So, but yeah, the new French look good. The new Italians, the plastic Italians look great.
I was just looking at them, and I'm trying to figure out the I can't even.
Bersaglieri. I'm screwing that one up too.
Sure.
Yeah, but
are they plastic?
Yeah.
Can you buy them as their own kit, or do you have to buy the starter army?
No. There's one of the boxes has the heads for them, or regular infantry heads, or.
It's not the black shirts, though.
I'd have to go check on my box or pull it up here, but
I'm looking at it right now.
One of the box has it, yeah.
Is there two sets? Wow, there must be 2 sets because these guys.
Yeah, there's another Italian infantry that's got the Alpini and the something else in it. So,
I like it when you say Alpini to me.
Yeah.
Easy there, killer. It's late on a Sunday night.
Sorry.
All right,
Anyway.
have we let them wait long enough? Should we get into the meat and potatoes? Everyone's just chomping and drooling over.
If they haven't already, I think other podcasts have already covered this book, but yes, we should. We should actually do that.
Yeah, but we have opinions that are superior. I'm sure.
Something like that,
or at least opinions.
Okay. Yeah. Just.
All right. Getting to my. Hang on. Let me open my OneNote here. All right.
OneNote.
Scribbled down. Soviets. They've got the Naval Forward Observer. We've seen this clown before, but in the hands of a Soviet who get when they do the fire for effect, they get to roll 2d6 and pick the high. And again, it's d6 plus 9 for this clown. And the 1 through 4
still worse, though, right? They nerfed it some.
Well, it's 180 regular.
Jesus.
So instead of 100, so there's another 80 points. I mean, it's like in the ballpark of the medium tank. Like it's one shot.
Didn't they make the chart worse, though?
Not as I recall. So normal artillery observers 1 through 5 is pins. D6 is hit by a 4-inch HE and D6 pins. The naval observer, they do 1 through 4 as the D3 pins. The 5 is the near miss that has a 2-inch template with a +2 pin.
Yeah.
And then there's a chance of just flipping a vehicle over. And then the 6 is it takes a 4-inch with a +6 pin.
All right.
Yeah.
So I mean, even the 5. So like it used to be, So yeah, I mean, extra 80 points for hitting on a 5 or 6. I mean, it still has to hit the fire for effect. That doesn't change.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just like it's a game. It could be a game in the hands of a Soviet player. Now, granted, like I said, it's taking place of medium tank at 180-ish points at regular.
So expensive.
It's expensive, and it's a one-trick pony. And if it shifts or doesn't come in, which as a British player, I've had games where they haven't come in.
Or your opponent snipers your guy before you get the shot off.
Right.
Sure.
It's like, well, meh.
Yeah.
But if it comes in, it hits. It can say, okay, well, that game's done. Yep.
It's a very high risk, high reward, I think.
Yeah,
although the risk
even
is
a near
terrible,
miss has the chance of flipping vehicles.
Right. You're almost always going to get that shot off. Whether it hits and does as much damage as you want it to, can be questionable. But you will almost always get to fire the gun or call in the shot.
Yeah, unless you're really silly
or unlucky.
Like I said, I've had games where it's delayed all game and never come in, or I've had shots that have drifted off the board.
Yep, these things happen. But
so
I don't know if I would spend 180 points for it, but if you're looking for some boom in your list, it's definitely got the boom.
Yeah, you only take them once, probably.
Yeah.
Or you're not going to have friends if it actually lands the way.
Yeah, if you're one of those guys that's really lucky at rolling 5s and 6s, you're going to run out of friends real fast.
Yeah, for sure.
So then they also have an anti-tank rifle squad.
Yeah, what was up with these?
Yeah,
squad.
These are freaking amazing.
This is 5 guys with rifles, and
you can
add up to 2 more, but up to 3 of them can have anti-tank rifles.
But the best part is they take up your anti-tank slot.
Yeah.
So it's an extra of 7.
Oh, I missed that.
It's an extra 7-man squad.
So instead of just the 5 infantry, basically another. Okay,
well, instead of
good.
2 dudes, you get You get 3 slots as a Soviet player, right? So you can take 3
and
of
reinforce.
these.
Yep.
So you can have 3 additional 7-man
Oh,
squads.
God, I didn't think about that. That's brutal. Like the Russians needed more guys.
They don't, but this is a way to get squads into those slots.
Sure, and you could just take them as cheap infantry.
Right.
I mean, you don't have to give them an anti-tank rifle.
No, you can.
Right.
Take,
yeah, it's an option.
Right. You could take a. Yeah, you can just take 7 dudes.
All right, we're gonna get too bogged down too quick. I can tell. Because there's even worse. There's one that can forward deploy as a team weapon.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's only one gun, wasn't it? That wasn't
just
like
a normal.
guns.
It's just a.
Well, again, the Soviets can take up to 3 because it's their slot is a 0-3, and it's the anti-tank slot.
Right, 3 anti-tank rifles.
I mean, 3 versus 9 is
Yeah.
Yeah. But still, this is a cool, an additional choice, right? Is an anti-rifle tank that forward deploys, which is really handy, right? Because they typically deploy after other stuff is deployed.
Yep.
So you can put them in advantageous positions. I also feel like you could just use them like snipers. Like they're kind of snipers.
Yeah.
Veteran snipers.
Veteran snipers.
Pretty good at hitting.
They're cheaper.
Pretty good at wounded, killing veterans. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, they obviously don't have the sniper rules, but
no, but they shoot at things and kill them.
Yeah,
right.
They're really good
with
at
the +2 pen. Yeah, they
punching
will
holes
kill
and
most.
things.
Yep.
Right.
They will put a hole straight through.
Right, and they're advantageous because they're forward deployed. Right. So there's lots of things about them that's. I like them as a choice. They're still not dog mines, but like, I don't know.
They got better range than dog mines, don't they?
They do, yes.
Well, they're 36.
Yeah, definitely have. They can reach out and touch things more, but
I mean, you could forward deploy these guys to cover like an open gap on your opponent's deployment zone, right?
Yeah.
And just
yeah.
put them in ambush and punch somebody's armored car or truck full of flamethrower dudes right in the dick when they come on the board. Yeah,
which I appreciate because apparently the barbecue lists are a rapid thing.
Yep.
These would be really good. Like kind of like how you use 3 machine guns, Jeff. Kind of like together,
Yep.
Like protect a spot, because nobody runs into those. Anyway, this is
tons of stuff to go through.
I know this one to me was one of the ones that stood out. I remember.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's just kind of
right. Like,
so the next one's kind of which is the Mountain Division group, whatever. So
we've
they
seen
don't
these kind of things before.
Yeah, we've seen this where they don't take the minus to the penalty for coming in, and they could deploy on the table. Landing barge, whatever, patrol boat. I think most of these are in here for the scenarios, which is nice. I appreciate that.
Like if you have water scenarios, it's fun. These guys, I remember them carrying a clown load of people. Like they were really
50?
They could hold a ton of people.
The patrol boat, 50. So like those are like the Cruel Seas ships, right?
Yeah.
Does that sound right, Jeff? I
mean, they're not huge. They're patrol boats, so they're not huge ships. They're no light cruiser. I wouldn't want to be jammed in there with 50 bros.
No, not after biscuits and gravy, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, I'd be all over everyone's shoes.
They did not get biscuits and gravy.
So German units, you'd already talked to about the siege gun guy.
I mean, it's a beast, though. We should talk about because it's like a freaking.
I thought it had a special ability where like this particular gun like flattened buildings.
It does. If it hits a building, it just kills the building. Right?
Like you don't even have to roll for the number of hits on the building. It just destroys the building.
So the siege gun, usually it has a different chart altogether. It's either 1 to 2 is off, 3 to 4 is delayed, 5 or 6 is fire effect, which you see. But they come down obliterating all beneath it. Roll a die for each building, structure, or fortification within the radius. 4+, they're gone.
Yeah.
And any units within them just
are
gone.
Yeah, they're just destroyed.
After roll, and then roll die for each unit within D6 plus 6 of the aiming point. 1 through 5, it's D3 pins. Otherwise, it's the normal 6-inch HE. But just the buildings are just gone. But no, it's got a plus 7 pins, so it's not the normal. But D6 pins.
Wasn't there something about like units near buildings had a chance of getting obliterated too?
I don't recall that.
I thought there was something like if you were close to it, it was like a Nebel Warfare where you rolled and on a 6 they got hit with something too or something like that. I don't know. I'd have to get the book back and look again, but it's something cool. I mean, it's a big gun and it goes multiple booms. So
it was on par for cost with the Naval Observer,
yeah.
but the fact that it just blatantly levels buildings, you don't roll for them.
Yeah, it's pretty
like,
sexy.
Jesus.
Like
you find somebody's got those 4-story buildings that like to pack full of guys, and you're like, oh baby.
Oh, don't put this on Dale's Stalingrad table.
Oh, please
gosh.
That'd be hilarious.
I don't think he's got rune markers for any of those things.
I don't know what you would do at that table.
All right, we just gave Dale an assignment, and he's not even here.
Smoking hole.
Yeah, just flip it over. Use the bottom of the foam.
Yeah.
Oof.
At that point, or just take the buildings off. You probably could just take the buildings off.
They're too pretty. I don't want to touch them.
I know. I wouldn't want to mess with it either.
Like a museum piece, I gotta put my white gloves on to touch it.
Right.
I could just see someone sitting there. Please, sir, can you back up? Don't lean on the table.
Yeah, right.
I only got busted for that once at a museum.
Only once? Nice.
Only once.
A tangent here. My wife and I were looking at Monet, and my wife looked at it really close, and she's like, really admiring the brush strokes. And she's like, look at the brush strokes. And so I leaned in and looked at the brush strokes. And that's, of course, when the museum curator came over and was like, sir, you need to back up. Like, my wife got away with it, and I got busted. I was like, you brat.
It's always the second one.
It's always the second one.
It's always the second one.
It was very pretty, though. Anyway, sorry. Any other German units that stood out? I don't remember any of them.
They just had one that could take, could be they have to pay for Fnatic because they're not Japanese. Oh wait, no, they had one that could basically make them like Susi, like Sisu, yeah, the French guys. Yeah. So if they go down to half, they're
oh my god,
Germans needed that. They were really sorely missing stuff.
Oh Jesus, the Finnish, not French.
Finnish,
yeah,
not the French.
Close. Not the French.
French didn't have anything like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically that's the Finnish rule. Okay.
Yep.
Which means your morale goes up one step when your unit goes down to half.
Right.
Yeah.
I got the rule right, just not the country.
Right.
Well, it's not too bad.
Yeah, it works. And I think they had some irregular squads in there. And what they have, I think the mountain guys. I'm not going to say that word again. The German mountain guys got a pioneer unit, so.
The Gerbisch Pioneers, something like that.
Gebirgsjäger,
the Gerbischjägers and the Pioneer.
Yeah, those ones
together.
introduced a new Mountaineers rule, not the Mountain Warrior that we saw in Tough Gut.
Warrior.
Yeah.
Mountain Warrior was the one that they could move on top of impassable terrain, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now this one has the Mountaineers rule, which treat rough ground as open ground.
That's a great rule for them.
Scares the crap out of me.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of impassable terrain in bolt action typically.
No, but there's an awful lot of rough ground
that nobody wants to. Yes.
Yeah. Well, just don't leave your ass hanging out in the wind, or they'll come set it on fire.
There's that. Don't do that.
Oh yeah, that's right. They could have a flamethrower, couldn't they?
Sure could.
Oh balls.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I mean that would make sense. They're pioneers.
Yeah, you're worried about the explosives. I'm worried about the flamethrower because it's not going to care if you're in that cover.
Yeah, true. Oh, yeah, but they could charge through rough ground like it's not even there. That's not okay.
Yeah. Can they run through it? Because they could just run across it too, and just
they treat rough ground as open ground.
Exactly. So surprise.
That alarms the crap out of me because none of my British units have this.
Well, I think it's good that there's some things the British don't get first.
Well, when's the next book coming out?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sorry, that is game changing.
It's good. It's real good.
That's a new evolution right there. Italian units.
Hooray!
Well, they released enough models for them, so yeah.
Yeah.
They had one that could double up LMGs. Congratulations, guys. That sounds good.
Well,
I mean, it's a big squad.
I like
10 man. Oh wait, 10, that was the one you could do
20
10, and
dudes
then
in.
you can go to 20, which is
there's a special rule later in a theater army special rule later that's important about that.
yeah. I mean, so like in current context, Italy needs to lean towards larger squads because of their Avante Savoia.
Yeah.
And losing dice sucks. And I'm okay. So 20 guys, 2 LMGs.
A lot harder to get rid of.
Yeah, regular veteran options. Okay, sure. And then Rick's back just in time to hear Jeff say, or I'll say Alpini again.
Alpini. That first squad is I like that you can get a giant ass squad of Italians. By the way,
Yeah, 20 dudes is awesome.
like
Well, and then this one's like 7 to 15
Yep.
also cool.
Mountaineers.
And these are
which
the Mountaineers guys who you like.
scares the crap.
What do the Alpini guys look like? Alpini.
They had the feather caps, not the ostrich feather Bersaglieri guys. These guys had little. I think they had little tiny, like it's not a fedora, but it's like looks like a hat. Like you, I don't know if you're picking up ladies.
Like a
in Italy.
fez?
No, it's not a fez. It's more. It's like a. Oh Jesus Christ! I don't know the right word for it.
Okay, so the I can't say it. the Bursos, I can't say it. I give up. That's its own kit. Like there's no Alpini.
That is
in
its
there.
own kit.
There's
yeah,
no
yeah.
Alpini in there, but there's going to be. I'm trying to find the other ones now because I'm trying to see.
Well, they got the black shirts kit out.
Right, but there's
I know what the
multiple
other ones
choices
are.
in there.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if that's where the Alpini are. They kind of have these weird mountain hats, sure.
Well, they're Mountaineers, so
Yeah, I don't know what the proper name for that hat is. That's the problem.
But it
not
is
a
more
fez.
like a hat than a
It's a
helmet.
hat. It looks like a hat you might wear with your suit.
Oh, like an actual okay, I don't know, a fedora. Nah.
I mean, it's close to that. I don't think it's actually a fedora, but it's something like it.
Okay.
this is what we're getting hung up on.
I don't know. I'm just trying to see if there's a kit for these guys.
What about the ski squad?
I didn't care about the ski squad.
Skis are whatever.
Well, so okay, skis or whatever, but exceptional training. Their unmodified morale is used for all morale-based tests.
I mean, that's cool.
That's orders, tank fear, to get removed from the boards. I mean, it's kind of a step above stubborn.
Sure, it's like stubborn plus.
Right, because order tests.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's solid.
Yeah, it's cool.
I don't know if it's 2 points of cool, but they're also Mountaineers.
Yes, they're also the Mountaineers, yeah.
This must have been the whole caucus thing, I guess.
Well, there's just a lot of guys that were supposed to go fight in the... You know, I don't know if no, you haven't been to Italy, but there's a lot of mountains in Italy.
I have not been to Italy. I've actually seen very few pictures of it. I've had pizza and pasta.
Well, okay, so the north end of Italy is... Well, northern half of Italy is pretty mountainous, so...
Okay.
You're going to find a lot of mountain troops amongst the Italians.
Okay. And then Lagari. Oh,
I
Jesus,
love the two of you
paratroopers.
butchering. I hope I'm saying it right so that I can laugh about the fact that I'm getting it right and you're getting it wrong, but I'm probably wrong. Whatever. We'll get some Italian people in here to tell me I'm wrong.
Through 80 plus episodes, our pronunciation of foreign language has been very clear. We're very American.
And I think we're getting worse probably over time.
That's probably true because probably the first dozen or two episodes we probably looked up their pronunciations at some point.
Yep.
I put myself on mute and then said the word right, and now I can't say it again. I was trying to correct you, and I was like, I said it right once.
Guy's hyping himself up in the mirror, and he's like, shit.
It was totally. I didn't mean to be on mute. I was actually going to ask you if you remember how big that ski squad could get.
I think these are all large squads, like 15.
I think,
Okay.
like 15 sounds right.
15 or 16.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I think because they're all pretty big.
Like that's kind of nuts that these squads
It
seem
is.
so big.
Wow, we just used big and nuts and missed all wiener jokes. That's
Big
great.
Alpini.
Nuts. Big nuts Alpini.
Yeah.
And then they had another 18-man squad that had tough fighters.
Yeah, well, that's awesome, though, because they could get regular tough fighters.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
That's
Massive fan of that.
That's always fun. Yeah.
You could also get veteran tough fighters, but it's the regular tough fighters I really
That
like.
you don't see a lot of, and it's a lot
You
of
do not see a
dudes.
lot of.
That's a lot of dudes.
those are the sneaky ones.
Yep.
I think we're coming up to my favorite thing in this whole book.
And then there's the one.
The only.
I wrote this down and I said, no, this one I have to take a picture of. What the F? The Savoia Cavalrini Squad.
Cavalria.
I don't think there's an N in there.
Cavalria.
The Cafeteria Squad.
Yeah.
They eat. They go back for seconds here.
Okay, so Italians. Now, granted, there was a scenario that was like the final mounted something.
Yeah, huge. It was like a huge mounted charge that just wrecked, I think, like 3 battalions of Soviets.
And this is a infantry, and all of these have been regular infantry for reinforced platoon. This is 6 to 12.
Oh, what?
16 points each, 6 to 12.
Okay.
Veteran.
Yep.
Veteran.
If I remember
16
correctly,
points each.
yeah.
Yes. You can, whatever. You don't care about the weapon options, and the carbines are normal. But what is this? Carcia?
No idea what
Charicia?
that word was. I don't know.
Instead of regrouping, they could charge again. Are you kidding me?
That's amazing.
So they could assault. They could just move another 18 inches and assault something.
Yep.
Yeah. So the cavalry. So yes, you're right. 18 inches is their run range.
Yep.
Right. So they could hit something.
But they're not mountaineers. First of
Okay,
all,
well, yeah,
thankfully.
that's
Well, the
probably-
horses
Mountaineer
might be.
horses would
Let's not,
Well, I don't see that list. I
Might
didn't
be
see it
mountain
on
horses.
my
Yeah,
picture
see
here.
a listing for the horses
I
themselves.
know, it's a joke.
But
If you're playing
this
on
is
if you're
alarming.
playing on a table that doesn't have a lot of terrain, yeah, these bros can roll on 18 inches. Next turn can charge 18 inches. Most likely wreck a unit,
Yep. And then go right
and then
something
immediately
else.
charge another
Right, 'cause
18 inches to wreck another unit.
The cavalry treat their carbines like pistols. Does that mean they
Pistols.
get tough fighter?
Pistols.
Being cavalry
yes.
gives you tough fighter in second.
Right,
Being
cavalry
cavalry
is
is
tough
tough
fighter
fighter.
itself. Yeah, okay.
Tough fighter
Yep.
regardless.
So you're a tough fighter. You can have these guys rival like the fucking other
Almost every unit.
the
in
other
game.
cavalry that everyone takes. What the hell?
The
Army
Lancers?
Lancers? Polish Lancers.
The Lancers gives you extra attacks, which
Yeah,
is really
but
nice.
they only
guaranteed extra
They
attacks.
kill one thing, but then they just kill the thing.
Exactly. These guys have the chance to
Not an
kill
extra
2
charge.
things.
It does give you an extra
These guys-
charge, right? These guys will kill
Yeah.
2 things.
Now, it does say once per round, so they can't do the
Okay, so you bring 2 units
the
of them.
checkers 15
units.
jump king.
Or
gate.
5
If you're,
units.
bring,
2
if
units
you're
you die
bringing
per
anything
round,
less
yeah.
than 5 units of these guys, you're playing the
I
game
do
wrong.
remember looking up the theater selector. There is a cavalry theater selector, and I think you can take
Yeah.
6 squads of these in that
Yes,
selector.
and you can mount your
Dude,
command.
yeah. Shit. Okay, well, we'll get to the rest of the Italian stuff after this, but that was the thing that this is the
So-
squad.
My extra favorite thing about this is so like dangerous squads. So like let's take Gurkhas. First off, Gurkhas can only charge 12.
Yep.
Right, and if you don't charge the Gurkhas, a Gurkha reasonably I think caps out at probably 5 assaults a game.
Right.
Right, that's probably the
Yeah.
max they're going to get to do.
If you're lucky.
These guys cap out, yeah, and that's maximum. Right,
Right.
that's like the stars align,
someone's feeding that unit.
or they just get into your back line somehow.
Sure, yeah, right. Yeah.
But I mean that is like the maximum. That's the top end. It's not the average. It's the top end.
Right.
These guys cap out arguably at 10 to 12 per unit
Probably true.
because they can do
Twice a turn.
twice a turn, and
Right.
with their mobility, they should be getting 5 or 6 charges a game.
Right. You could just imagine them getting to the artillery, right? Like get into their artillery pits, and you basically can wreak havoc.
You know, you'll just run down the line and destroy everything.
Just kill all their backline shit. Like that's
Anybody
particularly
running MSU is an idiot.
if you're running MSU, these guys will eat your lunch.
oh for sure.
Yep.
Like these are
Well, you better be really cautious about being behind dense terrain and breaking line of sights.
Yeah.
Because
yes.
line of sight is still required for charge. I mean, these guys require some serious calculations to mitigate.
This is insane.
I say mitigate because I don't anticipate playing Italians anytime soon.
no, but yeah, these guys are. This is why you take 4 squads of this and you paint one each up. You know, one's death, one's pestilence, one's war, one's famine.
The 4
You just
horsemen.
roll. You just roll with it.
More like the 6 horsemen.
Well, yeah, in that case, it'd be 6 words. I don't know what the other 6 are, like flatulence and
Glitter.
yeah.
All right, so I don't remember. I stopped looking at Italian units.
Yeah,
after
you're like,
that
I'm done
entry.
with this shit.
It's like there was a couple more, and I'm just like, okay, some cars, whatever. Hang on, let me go grab some Tums before I look at this any further. Whoa!
I mean, it's amazing.
I liked it.
That is arguably in contention for the best cavalry unit in the game and one of the best infantry units in the game.
Yeah. I mean, it's what, like,
I still think Gurkhas are a little better.
Polish Lancers are good.
And Polish Lancers are still excellent.
Right, but I literally, after I saw this, I started looking up Italian cavalry models. Like, I was like, who makes good cavalry? Because holy shit.
Yeah, I bet you Google about will explode in about next week after
the algorithm
this comes
will
out.
change.
And everybody's yeah.
Warlord.
Hey, Warlord, War Games Atlantic, other miniature makers, make sure you're getting some Italian cavalry together. Post haste.
Yeah, no shit, dude.
The only thing that Hungary really added is they got a flamethrower team now.
Okay.
Oh, hey, you skipped over my two favorite things in the Italian list, man.
Probably intentional.
Probably.
What were your favorite things?
They have 2 new artillery options, both guns have versatile.
Oh yeah, that's right. They basically become the ZIS 3 version.
Oh, cool.
They're either I guess one of them has versatile. It's totally worth it. That's such a great upgrade.
Oh, and one was the horse one that could actually
run 12 inches.
Could actually run 12.
Yeah. I love versatile. I think that's one of the best rules. I wish more of my stuff had versatile for guns. I might take more guns.
Okay, so the Italians got an upgrade to their infantry size. We'll talk later about their upgrade to infantry.
Are we talking Hungarian now?
Hungarians.
We got done talking about Italians.
Okay.
Yeah. I like this. So, like, just as a very fast overview, this really fleshes out the Hungarian options, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, really nice. But really, as far as, I mean, they didn't get any, bouncing Tasmanian Devil units.
No, but arguably they didn't need it. They already had a relatively solid army list.
I do. That's why I collect them. But now I get a flamethrower team too, so I'm excited.
So
that'll be nice.
It fills out it plugs the holes. And that's good.
We love plugging holes here at SNAFU.
Yeah, we do.
Sounded like a horse, even.
What about the Romanians? Did they get anything cool?
They finally got their Air Force added, their Air Force Observer.
Hooray.
Sure, yay.
Because everyone takes those.
That's pretty common.
Yeah.
They got a cavalry squad, which is just as bad as every other minor access cavalry
they
squad.
Had one, though.
Did they have a cavalry squad?
Yeah, Romanians definitely have a cavalry.
Oh, yeah, they do. Okay,
I don't remember there being anything significantly different from I don't understand why.
Well, they can't charge, that's why.
They couldn't. I swear the Romanians
couldn't charge before.
They couldn't. No, that's what I'm saying. That was what different is they couldn't charge.
Right, no.
They're like dragoons instead of, proper cavalry.
I don't remember why these are in here. I wonder if they have different choices of weapons.
I couldn't tell you.
I don't know.
I don't remember anything significant about this.
No.
They got a flamethrower team.
Hooray.
They already had engineer squads, but same difference, I guess.
Yeah, they got tank hunters.
Okay.
Can I just comment? I made a note of this, and I don't know why. That there's some awesome artwork in here. Like one dude's got like a helmet that looks a little goofy, and he's got all the heavy gun and shit, and he looks kind of like, "Why are you taking my picture?" One dude looks like he's a South American drug lord in Romania. And one dude's got like a pillow for a hat. I don't know. It's great.
I love it.
When y'all get the book, if that artwork's in there, I mean it's going to be in there. Just you'll know what I'm talking about.
Right.
It's amazing.
Yeah, so they got tank hunters,
okay,
which they didn't have before, so that's new.
That's cool.
Sure.
They also had something. Was it smoke grenades? Did something that like increased their. So 6 inches of the surprise rate can't react. I think that increased it. But of course, tank hunters they get double attacks against tanks and stuff.
Just takes up your tank slot.
It's not the norm.
Anti-tank slot.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the same as like the Soviets have.
Sure.
It's tank
Yeah,
hunters.
they
didn't pick up. They didn't get bomb dogs, but they got tank hunters.
Yeah. What the hell? Wrong side of the army.
I know.
But
Well, it is a thing.
I know it's just
And
like there's an underwhelming when you only get one of them.
Well, that's just because Russian or Soviets get spoiled.
Oh, I know.
with 3.
Oh, I know. I'm fully aware how good the Soviets get it. Like I feel like there's. I don't know if there's. I mean, the Romanians get multiple artillery slots. They're like, we're just gonna blow shit up with artillery instead of. But I guess it's a nice change.
It's a trade-off.
Sure.
Yep.
I like no Panzer.
They got a chance for guys to have motorbikes.
Hooray!
So, and then they this is huge. Well, okay, it's not. I don't.
It's
sorry,
not.
I don't
It's
want to
not
build
cavalry huge. Come on.
No, but they added a new army, Slovakia.
Oh, okay. This is kind of cool. Yeah,
It is kind of huge, actually.
It's nice.
So we're not going to talk a whole lot about it. Just say that there's a new army entry that's basically on par with like the Greeks and the Dutch, kind of.
Sure.
You know,
Better than the Norwegians.
Oh, that's not hard.
Well, I mean, people need a baseline.
Did they get special
Right?
rules?
Yes. We will cover the special rules at the end of
Oh,
this.
sure.
We're getting there. Yeah, I think
That's
they're
right.
all
They don't have them.
You
They
know,
don't have them listed with. They didn't have them listed with like the army
right.
stuff.
Yeah, we're just trying to keep this. So they. Oh yeah, spoiler: the Slovakians did get an engineer squad, but that's not the kind of engineers that have flamethrowers.
They're like they got drafting boards and they're drawing shit like.
No, they got like barbed wire cutters and things like that. So
that's lame.
they do have a motorbike section, so that's kind of fun. And then of course they have their mounted cavalry are just as bad as the remaining cavalry, which just can't charge people.
I think they had access to an autocannon, if I remember correctly. That's good.
But they had a partisan section. I remember that, so they had a big 20-man squad they could throw in there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, sniper, light medium, and howitzers too. So I mean, nothing terrible. I mean, but a nice option if that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, it's a whole nother army.
Yep.
I wrote down that he got an 88, basically an 88,
Yeah, I think they had a super heavy. Yeah.
Yep.
with a bunch of dudes and stuff.
Super heavy, versatile thing. The platform is it's an 88.
I assumed it was the 88 because it says 8.8 on it, but
Yeah, that's a popular caliber of heavy
Sure.
anti-aircraft gun.
I suppose. What side did the Slovakians fight for?
Oh, God, I have to remember where they are in this one. Well, so, part of what kicks off the war is Germany annexes Czechoslovakia, right?
They annexed them? Okay.
Yeah.
So they were...
But I honestly don't know if this army is... Let me look at the beginning.
Yeah, if it's supposed to be which side of the... Right, so if they're annexed, there's a good chance they were fighting for the Germans, but there's probably some holdout.
Yeah. So the answer is Jeff should know, but I don't.
Right.
I just don't.
That's the answer.
I'm going to assume it was Axis, but...
No, I think they are
They
allies.
allies? Okay.
Okay.
I don't know. That's why I asked.
Yeah.
I don't remember, but because Slovakia was that part of Russia at the time?
No.
Okay.
Now, Czechoslovakia was its own thing until it got annexed by the Germans.
Here you go. Wikipedia says, during World War II, Slovakia was a client state of Nazi Germany and a member of the Axis
There you
power.
go. Thank you.
It fought against the Soviet and deported most of its Jewish population. Wow, that was a downer. But
please donate $2 here to save Wikipedia.
I didn't get that this time. But
okay.
I was just reading the Google short summary. I'm sure there was much more to it than that.
Oh, sure. That's why the cavalry sucked, because they were Axis cavalry. Okay. And all the minor power Axis cavalry kind of blew. Except for Italians.
I mean, there's
right?
now
up until now, they couldn't charge.
German
can't charge
fanatics were right. The SS cavalry are pretty damn good too, aren't they?
Hey, they get a horse-drawn limber, so that's nice.
That is actually nice.
I mean, it's nice. Didn't everyone get that? I thought everyone got that at some point.
Only kinda.
Only kinda. That's right. Okay.
Kinda, sorta, yeah.
All
We
right.
get an armored car that's at least closed top, if I remember right. Maybe I think it only had an LNG on it, but hey.
I think an LMG an option for another one.
Well, I mean, that's something.
Yeah.
Yep.
They got Panzer 35T, whatever the Czech... Well, sorry, I was just about to say the Slovakian name for it, but these were built in... Were they built in the Czech Republic, I think? Yeah. So.
And then they had a couple squads that could be used by various nations within this campaign book.
yes.
Oh, switch hitters.
Monty's going to love this one, the Cossacks.
Oh, there's the Cossacks.
Yep, because he's got a lot of them modeled up very nicely.
He uses them as Soviets, right?
Well, yeah.
But you could use them as Soviets, Germans, or Italians, depending where they wanted to fight.
Sweet.
Yep. So they are cavalry, born in the saddle, excellent horsemen, so they can fire their rifles from horseback as well as on foot, so meaning they shoot 24 inches while on the horseback.
That's pretty friggin' good.
Yeah, and then they can't use any snapped action from any HQ unit, but they're also tough fighters because they're cavalry.
Yep.
Actually, they're cavalry on or off, or they're tough fighter on or off the horse.
Yes,
Sorry.
which is good. That's a solid unit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stragglers.
You need more bodies and cheap order dice? Here you go.
Yes, here you go. Come grab your cheap order dice here. Get 5 guys for 30 points. Don't expect them to do anything. They may not even move. Might take a pin for just getting an order. Have fun.
Well, they still get to move, right? They just take more pins.
Just get a pin.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway.
All right. So I think we have saved the best for last.
Oh, this is the best part of the book by far.
Oh, I'm so excited about
this. I do believe someone has heard. We are sick of bullshit Italian rules.
Yeah.
Thank you to the author, and I know he's done several community outreaches and feedbacks and stuff, probably post-written, but this is fucking brilliant.
Yeah, this is the
what
best
he has
part.
done in these next pages with the special army rules for these particular nations he has touched on in this book.
Let's do it. Let's go. Just dive in, Pat. Let's get it.
Face first.
All right. Italian. So, again, you can choose within the confines of the campaign and or the permission of your tournament organizer to use these rules for these nations within this campaign or said approved tournament instead of the previous ones that have been released before.
Yeah.
So ask the TO, and if he's okay with it, you can use these army rules instead of the bad ones.
Yep.
Hence.
So for Italian, they have an approved AT rule.
Yeah, that's improvised, I believe, but yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry,
okay.
Improvised. But sorry. So as Italian, just assumed improved.
I mean,
Well,
it is
improved,
actually.
It
too.
is. Don't get me wrong, it is.
Sorry, improvised AT will come up in many of the other ones too. When rolling to penetrate enemy vehicle using AT grenades or weapons with less than a +3 pen, you could re-roll the result.
Okay.
They've also got the special rule of large squads. So if they have 14 or more in there, they cause D2 pins instead of 1 when attacking.
I like that.
Yeah, all of those units were huge, right?
Yeah.
A lot of them were very large, yeah.
And I'm just going to do the translated version on this one. Believe, obey, and fight.
Yeah.
So they have a choice of 3 different options. They can select one of the options to specialize their particular, much like the British do. The one option is their battalion squads and regular HQ units can gain fanatic.
Yeah, and those guys were already tough fighters.
Oh.
Those are your regular tough fighters, so they could be fanatics.
Officers, medics, forward observers.
Oh, damn, that's a good choice. Okay, that's sweet. Sweet.
Mind you, those are typically small squads.
Well, hold on, because M battalion squads and regular HQ units.
Oh, that's right. Those.
So you can take those M battalion fanatic or tough fighter squads and make them fanatics too. That's a bitchin' list right there. Tough fighting fanatics.
So then Rick's favorite unit, the Alpini squads, can gain stubborn, as well as veteran HQ units, officers, medics, and forward observers.
That are modeled as Alpini.
Modeled as Alpini.
And gain the stubborn and mountaineer special rules.
That's amazing too. All your Alpini can.
The HQ get the mountaineer special rule.
Yep.
So that's still pretty sweet. Like that's not a free upgrade.
Everybody's
like
running through cover like it ain't even there.
Stubborn for all those units is badass.
Rough ground, by the way, not cover.
Yeah, right.
Rough ground. My bad.
May be cover in some cases.
They do a purpose, yeah.
Yeah.
Or
this is awesome.
The Bersaglieri.
There you go.
The B-Boys.
The B-Boys.
The B-Boys and Veteran HQ, as modeled, gain fire and maneuver.
Oh, God. So good.
So good.
Damn!
They're fucking Americans.
Yeah, they don't suffer the -1 for shooting.
Oh, God.
Rifle armed.
Rifle armed, yes. So they have to have rifles.
If they gave it to everybody so the LMGs got it too, then it'd really be good.
It'd be really
but
good.
yeah, that's fine. Rifle armed's good. Who the hell takes LMGs anyway?
Cost too much.
Right. Yes, they need to be a little cheaper for sure. That's okay. There's no downside.
There's no downside. These rules are amazing.
Right. Like even if,
and particularly in comparison to the garbage the Italians had to deal with before this.
Right. This is right. Even if you don't use any of those squads, who gives a shit? You don't have any negative modifiers.
Right. You're not getting kicked in the dick just because you're playing Italians.
Right.
Someone talk to that asshole who runs SNAFU and see if he's going to use these or not.
I mean, I know I've got an opinion for sure.
I mean, I know I'd lobby him.
Although, I don't mind what you've done with your changes too. If you wanted,
no, that's true. Yeah, your changes are good too.
Yeah, like they're reasonable and they're in line with all the other.
These are really good.
These, I would say you let people use.
We have such a tough draw to get access players.
Yeah,
this is phenomenal.
I mean, I'm of the opinion if someone wants, I'll just say it out loud. If someone wants to use these rules, I'm all for it.
Right. They could use your new and improved Italian rules or these rules, and I would still think that's still acceptable. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with either of those. I would never stop anyone from taking
something that makes this
fucking Italians better.
There's no
free units here.
No free units. Nope, there's no free units. That is true. But did Italians ever get free units? Did they get a free squad or a free artillery?
No, they got free defensive structures.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
they
access.
If they were defenders, and they
Romanians do actually. I don't know if
Romanians get the extra
artillery piece.
Artillery piece. Italian get the defensive structures. Other minor access powers get the
access support, which is not free.
Access support, yep.
The ability to take something German.
Yeah, you just take
something
German.
So when you're talking single platoon, and all of a sudden you can take 2 armored cars or 2 tanks, that's
solid.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
I mean, it's not a free order dice impressive, but I would love to see that just
across the board.
Within the confines of single reinforced platoon, those are really good.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Hungary also had the improved AT.
Improvised.
It's still improved too, but anyway.
It's still improved.
It's still an improvement.
You're
not wrong
at this point.
They also get the trial by fire, which anytime Hungarian officer makes a UN snap to action, roll d6 on a 6, an inexperienced unit within the command range goes up to regular.
That's cool.
Oh shit, dude. That. That's pretty awesome, actually. Yeah.
That's a ballsy list.
I kind of stopped reading after after the Italians.
I really like that. Bring an entire inexperienced army with, if it's double platoon, 2 officers, and just be snapping and be like, "Ha, you're regular now."
The best green roll you'll ever make.
Because it's anytime you snap. It's not just once per game, right?
Yes, anytime you snap.
So you're slowly going to get 3 free points for each guy in that squad every time you do it. That's pretty awesome. I like it. It's too bad they can't go to veteran if you do it again.
Yeah, it's a gamble.
It is a gamble.
Oh, it's a gamble.
Oh, yeah, because
and the last one they get, which is, yeah, it's only 1/6. But what's really weird is that all your tanks can get recce.
Duh.
And you don't have to recce away. You can recce forward.
Oh, that's really cool.
Okay.
So, yeah, Hungarian tanks gain the recce special rule. Furthermore, any Hungarian unit that already has recce special rule against user profile no longer needs to abide by the recce restrictions to move further away from the enemy or out of line of sight. Instead, the unit can move in any direction when activating the recce movement, including closer to the enemy.
Okay, Pat, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Does the Hungarian... Oh, hold on, because you'd be using these army rules, so they would not get access support. Never mind.
Right. They have their own... They have their own
tanks, yep.
They have their own Panther. Yeah. They have their own Tiger in the Hungarian list.
Well, I wouldn't take either of them, even if I had that rule. But
they got the Zerini too.
The Toldi or the Turini? Which one is it? Zerini.
Zerini.
They have something that's really good. I can't remember.
Yeah, the Zerini too.
If that's Hungarian or Romanian.
Zerini 2 with the heat armament is a medium howitzer with the option for a medium AT.
That's really good. I like that. That's a cool rule.
It's weird.
If you want to play Smash Mouth tank war, though, that's awesome.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. But the trouble is when you after you recce, you're down, so there you are. The Romanian.
Wait, hold on.
Did
the trial by fire thing? Was it only infantry?
I thought it was a unit.
It said unit.
so you could take a platoon of inexperienced tanks.
Inexperienced unit.
Oh shit! So you could take a bunch of inexperienced tanks and then use the snap to action to make them regular.
I mean, I think that's the idea. Yeah.
If you're running tank
wars,
right?
Could you use these for tank wars?
I mean, I don't see why not.
These actually lend themselves very well to tank wars.
Have you seen the list of the Hungarian tanks available?
I mean,
I don't know if you're doing a tank wars with those.
I would. Didn't they have the Damn, now you're going to look up their tanks.
Right.
Jeez.
Now I want to know. Yeah.
I feel like they had a good tank in there.
Well, the best one they... no, I think the Zerini 2 is the best one. They got some solid medium tanks. I mean, they're okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean...
Their armor cars are kind of like, meh.
They're like every other axis or minor powers. There's not much in there. I'm intrigued. Color me intrigued by that special rule. See if there's anything good in there. Is Jeff looking?
Okay. Fuchsia. You are now colored intrigued.
Yeah. Ooh, that's an intriguing color.
Romanian.
Yep.
Got the same improved and/or improvised AT that we've talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Lead from the front. Romanian suffered horrendous casualties. Remaining officers within 12 inches of an enemy unit upgrade their morale bonus by +1. Interesting. Seems dangerous. But, okay.
Yeah.
Flank attack. Remains cavalry and mounted divisions. What do they do? Oh, they come up to a turn sooner.
That's kind of good.
So you can do your normal reserves turn 1. You can reinforce on turn 2, or outflank on turn 2.
Right, like 12 inches further forward, right?
Turn
Like,
3.
so
Yep.
they can
Yep.
they'll be across the board and on turn 3 essentially.
Yeah, much faster.
Wow, that's actually really good. That's pretty good. In like an envelop scenario. Oh, those do those allow? They don't normally allow outflanking though.
Normally, you don't get to outflank in those, but there's plenty of things it's still really good for.
Right.
Yep. And then hardy soldiers. At the end of a turn, you just take a pin off a unit.
Nice.
I mean,
wow, that's fucking phenomenal. Honestly,
the thing is like the Romanian special rules were already pretty good. So like losing access to, losing access support and losing an extra artillery piece.
Mm-hmm.
Right, like, is this actually a better...
I'm less sure about that.
I don't know that this is an upgrade for Romanians. It's maybe like a sidestep. Like, I feel like this is some cool-ass rules, but I feel like Romanians are fine.
I thought this exact same thing about Hungary, too. Is I think that access support was really...
It's really good.
Made them stand out.
For sure.
But you know what? I'm actually happy with, like, sidestep, just different rules, because...
Yeah.
You know, if something's clearly better than something else, the Italian rules, you're almost always going to take those.
Right.
Whereas if it's a sidestep, then you can make, choices. And choices are always good.
Yeah.
Heaven forbid you have choices.
Yeah.
Like, this encourages different builds that I'm used to seeing, right? There's not a lot of people that bring Romanian cavalry. There's definitely not a lot of people that were bringing, like, even the mountain people.
Mm-hmm.
Not to be confused with bearded guys panning for gold, but... not great the Ozarks, but like it does encourage some other stuff. So I don't know. It's fine.
I like it.
It's no Italians, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, what's the next one? Oh, do we get Slovakia now?
Yeah, you finally get to hear Slovakia, which are actually a little bit interesting. So they got to take cover.
Yep.
Which
this one I like this one. Kind of.
So they've already acted. They can go down anyway.
Yep.
But then they have to stay down the next turn.
Makes it a little less good, but
I love that rule.
It's kind of cool though.
That's and when they stay down between turns, they get the normal D3 pins taken off. But
no, they don't. No, they don't.
They don't.
Yeah,
they don't.
I noted that. I was like, I remember them. Like, oh, this is really good. And then I was like, wait, no, they don't get the rule.
No, it's
not.
Like,
damn.
Yeah, but this is one of those ones when you really want to take a shot at something, right? But then your ass is hanging out in the wind and somebody comes up and shoots you with like a howitzer or something, you can still go down to save your unit.
Right.
It's so nice.
It actually has some very intriguing use cases.
It's got some really good play use.
Right. And like hopefully you don't have that many pins on you if you're trying to shoot with them before they go down, so hopefully survivable, but like, it does make that...
That's the hope.
Yeah, right. It just allows you to advance fire, and then if something scary gets you... there's definitely been times where I wish I could go down with a unit after I shot it.
Yes, absolutely.
Like you've bailed out your engineer from a transport in the first dice of the first turn and shot and wished the hell you could get down so you could get murdered afterwards.
Basically,
yeah, exactly.
Not to quote a game Rick and I had, but that's fine.
Fuck if I remember it, but...
and then Val's got reliable weaponry?
Improved weaponry?
No, reliable.
Weaponry.
They get a point deduct in LMGs.
Okay.
5 point.
Makes them almost
5 point
good.
deduction?
Almost makes
5
them
point
valuable.
deduction. I've always said LMGs, bring them down to 10 points, bring them down to 30 inches, they're fine.
Sure.
They haven't done that yet. They're getting closer.
Does it count for?
We're getting closer.
Does it count for vehicles too, or just dudes on foot?
I think it's just guys.
I mean, fine, whatever.
What do I recall? It's just guys. Jury rig machinery. They ignore the first. Its vehicles ignore the first pin on order test, which is kind of nice.
That's
they still
nice.
have to test, but they ignore it.
What
Sure.
the hell? That doesn't.
Yeah.
What? The name doesn't sound good, but that's a good rule.
The name doesn't sound good, but the yeah.
Okay.
Vehicles ignore one pin when modifying the morale value during an order test.
That's really good. That's
Still has
good.
to test.
Yeah,
That's great.
That's really good.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one is the limited officers, where basically like the officer gets capped to the nearest unit within 12 inches. The unit becomes an effective officer. He doesn't become an actual officer, so if you kill officers for second objectives, that doesn't do anything. He just gets everything, including SNAFU.
Also, again, rule sounds awful, but it actually is good.
Not too bad, yeah.
Like, it's got some, like, right, you can keep snapping shit after you
Yeah, totally worth
lose
it.
your
Last
officer.
chapter, yeah.
That's pretty rad. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Slovakia. I mean, it's the first Slovakian set of rules I've seen, right?
Yeah.
It's the
Right.
only one you've seen.
Well, I mean, like, even unofficial. I don't think I've seen any unofficial.
Right.
You're right.
I, was
No,
say,
I
I haven't seen
yeah.
anything, like, there wasn't, like, a fanfic PDF floating around like the Australians had. Dude, that's actually pretty good.
I'm happy. I like those.
Now, does anyone make models?
No idea.
I
But I bet someone will after this.
Right, and I'm like, I don't know anything about any of their tanks and shit. Like, if you work on a VZ35 or a VZ38 or an OAVZ30, wow, those are cool names.
Well, I bet you between color schemes and German winter, because this did cover a lot of winter stuff, and
I'm sure you can come up with stuff.
Soviet models, you could probably come up with something.
Get
in your
close-ish.
research.
Yeah, probably. You're probably right. That would actually be where you probably start. I mean, you just start by Google searching Slovakian.
Or you could also say, "Hey, I'm playing Slovakia. Here's my rules. Here's my miniatures. Here's my order dice. Let's play."
Mm-hmm.
Right?
That
Oh,
probably work
shit.
too, right?
Someone sells.
Oh, Rick
Somebody
found some.
sells STLs of Slovakians.
Well, there you go.
There you go. They got weird ass helmets.
Until Warlord catches up. Yeah, well.
I mean, I like it when they have weird ass helmets. That's what makes things good, is when they have weird helmets. Anyway, Call 3D sells them. Tell Warlord gets on board. They got like weird walks on their head with rivets. They almost look like Star Wars troopers. like the fleet dudes. I can't remember their name.
Are you on the right tab?
Yeah, dude. Here, just send it to you. You can see it for yourself.
Well, that's fine. No, that's fine.
It's a safe click. I promise.
We're short, sweet here,
Oh,
so
yeah.
let's.
Oh, I see it. Yeah. Those are interesting helmets.
Anyway, so Slovakians look like it. Intriguing.
Cool.
And, the fact that someone made 3D models already is a step in the right direction.
Good sign.
It usually means there'll be modelers of it out there. So, cool.
I expect an update in the next episode for your hobby.
Not a
Rick.
chance. I did paint some I will note that I did paint a bunch of dudes between the last episode and this episode, because I needed a
Nice.
break from making bunk beds.
Nice.
Well, next episode
Yep.
we'll probably
I will have not done anything
talk
more.
about
yeah.
that.
Anyway.
And I imagine we're going to have a massive update from World
Yeah,
Open War.
that's true. You guys will have one soon enough.
Unless we just don't want to talk about it and have gag orders on us.
I mean, anything is possible. All right, just some theater selectors. Was there anything we're talking about in the theater selectors?
Trains are there. Trains are
Yeah.
there. I just want to say it again.
Yeah, let's just 1,000 foot. There's some cool selectors out there.
Okay.
Let's just go with that.
I just remember the cavalry, the Italian cavalry one was like
Amazing.
had 6 squads
Oh,
of.
Jeff and I both pre-ordered and looking forward to having them ship, and then it show up at my house as I'm leaving the country
Right.
to go
Can't
fly
bring
to
it
England.
with you.
No, it's going to be on the plane passing us as we go over the ocean.
Yeah,
just,
we'll wave.
you should just email them and be like, "Hey, can you give it to me when I get there?" Since you're going to Lead Mile anyway.
Well, no, because then I got to bring it back.
I was just
to
saying, I
my
don't want to pack
luggage.
that shit coming back. Oh my god, too much as it is.
Just send it.
It's already being sent.
It's already. I've
Oh,
already
fine.
paid
You
for
win.
this shipping.
You win. Yeah, everyone wins.
Plus, I got other toys in that order too, which we'll talk about later.
Yeah.
There's a Brandenburger
secrets.
one in there too, but I don't remember if there's anything good in it. There was.
I think it was just so you could take a whole army of Brandon
Yeah.
Burgers, which is kind of
I
cool.
guess they're really expensive.
They are,
Um,
but you can have a lot of them.
what is?
Why get one when you can get two at twice the
Yeah,
price?
basically.
What was
Yeah,
Operation
Four?
Edelweiss again?
Edelweiss, that was
yeah.
one of the.
Or you say
Yeah,
it?
it's one of the German. I don't remember what it was specifically. It's one of the German operations. Obviously, but I don't remember. It's in the book. I just don't remember.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, it's good. It's good.
No, it's totally fair.
Yeah, I just remember the cavalry one being really good because you could take a boatload of cavalry, and you couldn't take any tanks if I remember right. But you like upgrade your HQ and shit like a normal cavalry thing. I don't know. It's the only one I remember off the top of my head that was like outstanding as far as like theater selectors.
Yeah.
All right,
Cool.
let's get out of here. There it is.
The book's awesome.
Pre-order.
Highly recommend you pick it up.
You got like a few days to still pre-order. It'll be there. Excited about it. I pre-ordered mine, so
I haven't yet, but I think this might be one on my list of things to pre-order here.
from the collection you have, you actually might want to consider that. Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly.
It just makes me want to start an Italian army. That's the only problem. I gotta try and get the shit I got done, or the stuff in my plate already done. But
That
well,
never happens,
I know.
man.
Well,
I don't know where you're from.
And yeah, I got piles of shame everywhere. But it's also like Italians were never worth playing before, but now they're totally worth. There is a list that makes them good.
You're not wrong.
Horse meat.
Anyway,
all right.
Well done, Warlord and or author. I can't remember who wrote this one.
But super cool dudes. Done a lot of like Q&As with the community. Like,
Yeah, very interactive. I like
yeah,
that.
Super big.
Very
Big
nice.
fan. Big fan.
Do we know his name?
I'm embarrassed to say I don't write off.
I didn't write down.
Okay.
No, sorry.
Well, we'll make sure when we get the copy that we'll give credit where
We
credit's
barely
due.
remember our own names,
I know.
man.
I
Sorry.
should have wrote it down. But anyway, well done. This one is salt free. This is full of sugar, right?
Yeah.
So
Well, give us good stuff. We like it.
right.
right?
Well, and there's definitely stuff that is
Candy everyone
nothing.
wants.
There's nothing detrimental in here. It's all just positive shit. Like that's what I like.
The British did not get the mountaineering
Who
special.
fucking cares? They got enough stuff.
That's all I'm saying.
British got enough stuff. Jesus Christ.
Pat's expecting shit from the Western Front on an Eastern Front book. That makes sense.
Well, I mean, it's kind of been that way lately.
You're right.
So.
It's like Italian book with no Italian army in it, or whatever. But this one made up for a lot of stuff, I think. So well done.
Yep.
I look forward to seeing more Italian armies on the field when the TOs allow it.
Actually, no. I'm gonna start painting my Hungarians again.
Dude,
I
the
got several spots and boxes to
Hungary
get
list got good too. Yeah, there's some good shit in there.
through. Yeah, I got a flamethrower. It's awesome.
All right. Well, we'll be back after you guys go to England, and
Yes.
lots of stuff to talk about. So let's be done for the night. Thanks for everyone that's listening. And sorry there was a technical hiccup. Who knows? I don't know. It seems like it got fixed. Get us out of here, Pat.
Cool. This is Closing SNAFU Special Report. Over and out.
Good night, guys.
Good night, everybody.